All right, here we are with Coach Jedidiah Bressman, right? Coach, newly appointed coach of something brand new, and from what I can tell, the state of Ohio, but definitely in Central Ohio, a girls' middle school wrestling club, right?
Absolutely, yeah. I haven't heard of any other program like this. It's every Olentangy Middle School is given the girls the opportunity to wrestle as a part of a middle school program. 3 practices a week. Like I said, every Olentangy Middle School gets involved. Some girls can come from outside of the district if they want, but we're focusing on all the Olentangy Middle Schools. And there's a whole slew of tournaments. There's a couple different duels. Practices, like I said, 3 days a week. Some practices can be with the high school team. We're going to try to work that out. But really, this is about getting girls to love wrestling, just like I do, just like a bunch of coaches do. Coach Nicola recruited me to do so, and this is going to be a really great opportunity.
So you mentioned a couple things there I think we should touch on. I said club, that's what we're going to call it, but this isn't just you going around pulling people into a mat, into a room, onto a mat, saying let's live go for a little bit. These are legit tournaments that you're going to be, that Coach Nicola and others around the state that have taken a lead in the high school level, they're going to be actually having legitimate tournaments for middle school girls, right?
Absolutely. I mean, this club team is, I'm treating it exactly like I would when I coached at Carr Middle School. It's going to be full practices. We're going to treat it as if we start from the ground up. My job as a middle school wrestling coach is to get them to love the sport. Win or lose, if they come away with that they love wrestling and they're going to continue doing it on in high school, that is exactly my job. I'm a competitive guy. I want to win, but my job isn't that to look at the win and loss column, even though I will. I want them to grow as wrestlers, and absolutely, like you said, our job, we have tournaments around, we have everything like that. It's going to be treated exactly like we were a sanctioned OHSAA team.
Yeah, and we got to talk a little bit off camera about the impact that you have, and maybe the window of opportunity that's really reaching a crescendo, especially in the state of Ohio, talking about sanctioning high school girls wrestling sooner rather than later. We don't exactly know when that's going to be, but I believe that it's going to happen within a year after this next year. But you having this opportunity to kind of lay the groundwork with middle schoolers, what do you think about the chances, the opportunity of what you're doing here in Central Ohio?
The opportunity is absolutely fantastic, honestly. I mean, I was reading a story about sanctioning the sport and OHSAA. They said, well, it's not the amount of participants. Well, that's kind of right. I mean, if we don't have enough people interested, then of course it's not going to be a sport. But we have over the amount of people that you would think we need to be interested, and just growing it at a middle school level. That's how high school wrestling grows. Is the guys, they wrestle in middle school, you get them interested in middle school, and then they grow in high school. It's exactly the same way that the girls wrestling needs to be treated, and that's exactly why Nicola and Orange and Berlin came together, and they said we should start working on this middle school program. So like I said, 3 practices a week. We're splitting between a couple of the different middle schools, and we really get to start a program from the ground up, and that's exciting for me. Starting something from the ground up. I don't have to. I'm not coming in with it already built and just changing around some of the furnishings. We're building the foundation, and we're going all the way up.
All right, so tell us a little bit about yourself, right? Give us a little bit of background, your wrestling background, your personal background. Tell us more about who you are.
Sure. So I graduated in 2011 from Worthington Kilbourne High School. I was the captain of my wrestling team my senior year, 215, 189. I always joke around with some of my other teammates. I led my team in takedowns, which I'm always very proud about. And I'm sure my wife's tired of hearing about that now. But I did that. I went away to Fort Wayne, Indiana for school. I helped coach a middle school team up there. Came back to Ohio State for law school. Now I run a firm with my father, Bressman Law, over in Dublin. And I got involved coaching at Dublin Carr Middle School, and I loved coaching. I miss wrestling so much that I thought coaching would be a way for me to get back involved. So I got to coach at Dublin Carr for a year before I had to leave to go work in state government. And now that I'm back out working with my father, I get to do it. We're a wrestling law firm. We have a lot of wrestlers, former wrestlers, and kids who were wrestlers of them. So I'm really looking forward to the opportunity of getting this new experience and working with Orange and Berlin.
Okay, so tell me real quickly, this will be the end here, about a little bit more specifics about the club. 3 days a week, but what's the season? When are you starting, and what are you looking to do in order to recruit girls? How can we help you?
Right. So we're looking at 3 practices a week right now, 5:30 to 7:30. Middle schools are still being determined where we're going to be practicing at. Season starts, I believe in November is when we're looking to start it. Tournaments will start in December. I think we end about February. Okay. But again, the way to recruit is just get girls interested. I think that if girls show up to practices and they see how fun it is, I mean, I always got a kick out of throwing people around. There's not too many places in sports that you get to do that in. So, come to the first couple practices, talk to, Coach Nicola, and talk to some of the girls who are wrestling at the high school team. We have a former Olentangy Orange wrestler who's now in college, Josie. She's going to be coming and being an assistant coach. And we're still looking for one more assistant coach. So if you're interested in helping out, let me know. Shoot me an email or shoot Nicola an email.
Okay, great. Well, I appreciate your time. I want to say on behalf of everybody, Central District at least, maybe statewide in the state of Ohio, and maybe even nationwide as this thing really grows a lot of steam as we sanction women's wrestling around the nation. Thank you for what you're doing. It's a thankless job. You got a lot of work ahead of you, and I know the pay ain't always right. So I appreciate you. Thanks for all you're doing. If you ever need anything from us, just holler.
Thank you.